All right, Year 7, I'm just going to go over this substitution that we did last lesson. Now remember what we're doing here with algebra. Remember that when we write an expression, right, there are certain things. So I might go back and quickly go over what an expression is and what the certain things are. So I'll quickly skip back to here, what we term an expression. So here we go. Let's have a look at these. And we've done them before. We did them in class. So let's take C. Here we have an expression, and I'm going to write that expression over here. So 15 NW plus 21 N plus 15. Now the whole thing there is called an expression. The whole thing is an expression. It's a number sentence, but it has pronumerals. Now, our pronumerals are things that stand for numerals, and we usually use letters. And our pronumerals are the N, the W, and we've got another N. We only have two pronumerals in this one, N and W, and they are variables. They are numbers that we don't know, and they are variables. They vary. Now also in this expression, we have a constant. And our constant doesn't vary. It's a set number, and it's this value at the back. In this expression, the constant is 15. Now, there are three terms in this expression. And the three terms are here. There's the first one, 15NW. The second one, and see how I circled the plus sign as well, is plus 21N. And the third term is plus 15. So there are three terms in this expression. Now, whenever we have a pronumeral, we have what we deem or what we call a coefficient. And the coefficient is the letter in front. The coefficient is the letter we shouldn't use the word letter. We should use coefficient, and it's not the letter. The coefficient is the number in front of the pronumeral. So the coefficient of the N is 21. The coefficient of NW is 15. And we have to remember it's positive. Sometimes a coefficient can be negative. For example, if I look down here, the coefficient of A is negative 27. The coefficient of A is negative 27. You need to see that this is the term, doesn't include that plus, negative 27A. So the coefficient of A is negative 27. All right, let's go down and have a look at what we do when we do substitution. All right. So here we have an expression, and it is 12 plus B. So 12 plus B is an expression. There are two terms, the 12 and the plus. Now, when there's no coefficient, there is a 1 there. The two terms, the 12 and the 1B. And remember, B can vary. We can put any number we want in for B. It is a variable. It is a pronumeral that we can change. Well, let's have a go at the first one. In 5A, they say, let B equal 5. That means put 5 in the expression where B is. Well, 12 plus B will equal, when we put 5 in for B, 12 plus 5, which will be 17. And we can find a value for our expression when B equals 5. Calculate the value of the expression 12 plus B when B equals 5. It's pretty easy. All you're doing is putting the value in and finding the expression. Let's have a look at 5D. B equal 0. Yes, you can put a 0 value into an expression. Well, 12 plus B will equal 12 plus 0. Well, that'll just be 12. Cool. Let's have a look at some of the harder ones. Let's have a go at, say, 6E and F. So I have expressions here. In 6E, I've got 3x plus 2 minus x. And I'm going to let x equal 5. So everywhere there's an x, I'm going to put 5. So the value of the expression will be 3. Now I've got to be careful. It's not 3, 5. It's not 35. It's 3 times 5. Plus 2 minus 5. And that'll be 15 plus 2 minus 5. We know our order of operations, and you'd do this on your calculator if you had one. 15 plus 2 is 17 minus 5. That will give us 12. Let's have a go at 6H. And in 6H, we've got our expression 30 minus bracket 4 times x plus 1. You really got to remember that that is 4 times x. And again, we're going to let x equal 5. We're going to let our variable, our x, equal 5. So wherever there's an x, I'm going to put 5. So I have 30 minus bracket 4. Remember, that's times x. So 4 times 5 plus the 1. All right, now it's just order of operations. 30. 4 times x is 20 plus 1. Now we do inside the parentheses 21, and 30 minus 21 is 9. And you could do all that on your calculator. It's good to practice so. What about when we have two values? So take 7. And we're going to let A equal 2 and B equal 3 into all these expressions. Well, here we go. Let's try some hard ones. We'll try G, H, and I. So in G, what have I got? I've got A, B minus 4 plus B. Well, remember that's A times B. So when I let A equal 2, I'm going to get 2 times B equals 3 minus 4 plus another B, 3. 2 times 3 is 6 minus 4 plus 3. 6 minus 4 is 2 plus 3 equals 5. I hope none of you added the 3 and the 4 first. Remember, order of operations, we do them as we see them going across the page. The next one, H. 2 times 3A plus B. 2 times 3A plus B. And that's in brackets, just double check. So again, we just put a 2 in for A, 2 times. Remember, that's 3 times A, so 3 times 2. And we put a 3 in for B. And then we just do the algorithm. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 3. 2 times 6 plus 3 is 9. 2 times 9 is 18. Okay. The last one we're going to do, big numbers. 100 minus 10A plus 10B. Oops. 100 minus brackets 10A plus 10B. Let's double check, make sure that's right. Yep. And this is I. Now remember, A equals 2 and B equals 3. So equals 100 minus 10 times 2 plus 10 times 3, which equals 100 minus 20 plus 30. Well, that's 100. Do the brackets now. 50. And 100 minus 50 is 50. All right. So that is substitution. I hope you're able to do that. What I'm going to do very quickly now is scroll down and do some of the ones from 8H, because we need to be able to substitute negative values into these as well. So there's not much difference. Remember, you have a negative button, a bar on your calculator, so you can do this on your calculator. E, F, G, H. Let's have a look at how we do some of these. And again, you have to do 4, 5, 6. So let's have a go. So here in question 4, and I'll do a couple. I'll do A, B, C, A, B, C, and A, B, C, and D from 4. So 4A. Here we have an expression, 5 plus 2A. And what do they tell us to let A equal? They say find the value when A equals 6. So down here, here's what they tell us to do. Let A equal 6 and B equal negative 2. That was pretty poorly done, Mr. Tonkin. Let's get rid of that. Try that again. A equals 6, B equals negative 2. So here we go over here. 5 plus, and remember it's 2 times 6. It's 5 plus 12 equals 17. That was terrible again. Let's try B, negative 7 plus 5a. Well, that's negative 7 plus 5 times 6. Well, that's negative 7 plus 30. And I'd do that on my calculator if I was having trouble with directed numbers, but that will come out to 23. And I'm just checking these because I want to make sure that I don't make a mistake, and I know I'm right. Let's do C. B minus 6. Now B, I have to be careful here. When I make this substitution, it's negative 2. So negative 2 minus 6. And again, I'd use my calculator, but I can do this in my head. Negative 2, think it's negative 2 degrees, and I minus another 6, it'll be negative 8. And I'll do D, which is B plus 10. Well, that's negative 2 plus 10. It's negative 2, and I go up 10, so I'll be positive 8. Don't need to write the positive. I might finish with L. And I've got 3 minus 6 divided by B. So again, substitution, I just put the value in. 3 minus 6 divided by negative 2. I'll do the division first. 3. Have to be careful here. I'm going to leave that minus there, and 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. And we remember from our directed numbers, that'll be 3. Negative, negative, we'll make that a plus 3, which gives me 6. All right. What about some of the ones from 6? So if I'm looking at some of the ones from 5. Let's have a go at some of these ones from 5. How about I just do F and H? So 6F. I write the expression 6b minus 7a. 6b minus 7a. And A, they say to let A equal negative 5 and B equal negative 3. So it's going to be 6 times negative 3 minus 7 times negative 5. Again, you do this on your calculator. Well, 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. Minus 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. Well, that's negative 18. Minus minus becomes a plus 35. Negative 18 plus 35, I'm pretty sure will be 17. And I just check to make sure 5F is 17. So I'll just make that right. So I'm doing 5. And I'm going to have a go at 5H. And 5H is negative 3b minus 2a minus 1. Now remember, I'm letting b equal negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 3 minus 2, and a is negative 5. I'm substituting a as negative 5 times negative 5 minus 1. Now again, I would suggest using your calculator. I'm going to do it without. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Minus 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Then I've got minus 1. Remember, the two negatives will make it positive. So 9 plus 10 minus 1. 9 plus 10 is 19 minus 1. I'll get 18. Now, question 6. So they tell me what to do, so I might just do B and D. So 6B. 6B is pretty easy. It's only one value. It's an expression with one value, which is negative 2 minus 7k. And they say let k equal negative 1. Well, negative 2 minus 7, remember that's times, and k is negative 1. Well, negative 2 minus 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. Well, that's nice because those two negatives will make it plus 7. And minus 2 or negative 2 plus 7 will give me 5. Again, I would suggest using your calculator. All right, let's do D, negative 3x plus 2y. So D, negative 3x plus 2y. Well, let's go back and say what we're doing here. Here is our expression with two terms and two pronumerals. The pronumerals are the x and y. The two terms are minus 3x and plus 2y. There is no constant. The coefficient of x is negative 3 and the coefficient of y is positive 2. Okay? Let's now substitute into our pronumerals the values for x3 and y negative 2. So negative 3 times, put 3 in for x, plus 2 times negative 2, put in negative 2 for y. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9, plus 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 9 plus negative 4 will give me negative 13. Again, you can do that on your calculator. And that's substitution, plus a brief description of what we're doing with these expressions, and what a pronumeral is, and what a constant is, and what a coefficient is, and what a term is. All right.